Hey guys, doing but neighbor,
Not much.
you're out in the desert?
I know I'm home. I was in New Jersey last week, so I missed most of the festivities.
All right.
How was the Rabbi Shir last Wednesday night?
It was actually excellent. I mean, and Shabbos was really excellent, I have to admit.
Oh, really? What was the topic?
The topic, good question. He had two things to say. If I remember, I would love to share it with you, but I don't.
Okay. When you do remember it. Well, he had the chabur was about something with gay or something or other.
That I didn't go to,
Oh, okay.
but I don't know. That probably had to do with the Modi concert, I imagine.
Exactly. Yeah, that was yeah.
Yeah, that was
Funny.
Rav David Lichtenstein spoke about it a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, what did he say?
Well, the topic was a great topic. The halachas of Bale Avera, of running in our midst.
Uh-huh.
So I can't do it justice, but so listen, goes to jail, or a person's known to be dubious in business.
Yeah.
Can you give them an aliyah? Can you honor them at banquets?
Can you? Everybody does.
Right.
That's not a question.
Right. So the shaila came
bothers
because
me to no end. Bothers me to no end.
Okay, well, here's the shaila. The shaila came because somebody called in and said, I was at Achnasa Sefer Torah and I saw Modi writing a letter, Mamish, in the Sefer Torah is the Sefer Torah puzzle.
Wow. Wow. Okay, that's a question.
So headlines in halacha, listen to it for yourself. It's a few weeks ago.
Okay, I'll listen for it. Yeah, very good.
It's very good because you kind of get your slew of Rabbanim talking about, basically this is all shtus and everybody needs counseling. And David Lichtenstein was very clear, and he said, this is not shtus. It's a serious issue. These are serious people, and it's not something you can just wish away. So
okay,
now you got a deal.
I will definitely look for it. Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to look for it right
now.
But
I was at the Modi concert the other night.
And how was it? Was it for anyone?
Well, I knew nothing about this issue. I didn't know he was gay. I didn't even know it was an issue.
Where have you been?
I don't know where I've been, but I don't follow the guy. I don't know. What's the last? I don't know. So anyway,
he's funny.
So I guess I was forewarned because I was listening to Rav David Lichtenstein and he had a whole shir on it, right?
Right.
So I wasn't shocked when it came out in the middle of his act.
What would he say?
He said, I'm gay. I'm married to a man. I love being married. And then he went to a humor about marrying a younger man, marrying a millennial, and the difference in perspective and like technology humor, and that millennials never say you're welcome. They just say no worries. And and he went into a bunch of shtiklach routine that ended with something pretty graphic that everybody laughed at. Fine. Segue to the end of his routine, and he did some Hitler humor.
Oh, okay. Oh, with the elevator?
Yes.
Okay, it's a pretty good joke.
So, in my opinion, he did that at the end. In my opinion, that in order to, if people want to complain about something, they'll say that was bad taste.
It's a pretty good joke.
So,
but I think you're right.
The audience was mostly from, or at least from. I mean, it was half our shul.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd Rabbi Cross sit?
Rabbi Siegelman asked me the same question.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Anyway, TBA. To be continued. Okay. TBD. Or TBC.
I'm looking for that topic.
You see it? It's about 3 weeks ago.
Okay, okay.
Hold on.
Chav
I'll send
Zayin
it to
Amud
you.
Aleph.
I will find, I'll find it. I'll find it.
Chav Zayin Amud Aleph 27a, Mishnah. Hamevi get v'ovad emenu. Person brings a get, the shaliach, and he lost it. Matzola alter, if he finds it immediately, the Gemara will define what immediately means. Kosher. V'imlav posel. We're concerned that the get that he now finds 2 hours later, it's not the one that he lost. It's another get with the same name and the same wife as the get that he brought. So it's posel. But if it was found in a box and there's a siman that he can identify it, in makiro kosher.
What's the problem with him losing again?
Makira, Rashi says, is a separate case. Finding it, the problem, Kenny, is if you pick it up right away, you find it immediately, we'll see what that Shir Zman is. But if you go beyond that Shir Zman, we're concerned that now the get that he found is not the original get that he brought, but it's the get with the same name as the guy that wrote it, and he happens to have the same wife's name. That's what the Mishnah is worried about. Now, Verminu. I'll show you a stira. Matzah gitei nashim, a person found in a trash dump a get, a woman's get, or shichrui avodim, or a get shichrur for an eved, daitiki, which are like last will and testament documents. Matanois, a shtar matana, a shtar that documents a matana, v'shoivrim. Shoivin is a receipt, right? When a husband pays a ksuba, he gets a receipt from the wife. So it says, Areza lo yachzer. If you found these, you shouldn't return it to the owner of the document. Shani oimer ksuvan hayu v'nim lachalen shelo litna. The fact that you found it in a garbage dump, fine, they were written by the guy, but he obviously changed his mind and threw it out. He didn't want to give it. So don't give it back. However, Omar Tanu, if in all these cases the maker of the star says, no, give it, noisnin, mafilu izman meruba. And this is even after a long period of time that it was lost in the garbage dump. It seems to be a direct stira with our Mishnah. It depends where it's found. If there are caravans traveling constantly through this city, bringing more and more people, there's a high likelihood that when you now find a new star or a star that had been lost, that it might be a different star with two people's names. The place where you are allowed to give it even after a long period of time is where there's no caravan, so there's no chash. And there's another restriction. Even where there's a lot of caravans, we have to know with certainty that there are two people with the same name in that city. So then you have the choishesh that, or from the city that the document arrived from, or that was based down in. But if we know that it's not muzik, then we don't have to worry. We could give the get. And the ilo tamahachi, because if you don't answer this way, kasha de rabba, I'm going to show you a steer in Rab himself. There was a get that was given in front of the Bezin of Ravuna. The location was this place, the town of Shviri, on this certain river. Bam Rav Huna choishes l'shnei shviri. He didn't want to accept the get because he was concerned maybe there's another place with the same name. V'amar lo Rav Chisda l'Rabba. So Rav Chisda, who was in attendance there, told Rabba, "Puk va'ayin bo. Go investigate this halach." Because in the morning or in the evening, Rav Huna, the Rebbe, is going to ask you about this. Nofak dok va'ashkach. Rabba went and he found the following Mishnah, this not. Komaisa Bezdin, if a document like a shtar and other certifying documents coming out of Bezdin, you find it, Hareza Yachzir. You can return it to the owner. And you don't have to worry that it's two cities with the same name. Now, Ravuna lived in a big city, which had caravans. And the Koposhit, yet Rabbi said Yachzir. And before he said, so now we can understand Alma. When he said you shouldn't return it, is when there were two Yosefs in the same city. Then you worry. The lolo. So this distinction that we made is correct. Ovid Rabba Uvda Bahu Gita Dishtakach Bekitna. Beir Pumpedisa Kishmaitza. They carried out this sheet of Rabbah with a get that was found in a cotton house. And Ikedi Amri, Biduchte Hecha de Tori Kitna, is where they, or flax. This is a place where they soak flax. And V'afagav Shehulzaku, there were two people with the same name there. Why? Because Shloshich and Shayartha, he allowed the get to be given, even though there were two people with the same name, because there are no caravans going there. They sold flax there. And there weren't two people with the same name in that city. So therefore, he wasn't worried about a counterfeit, even though Shchich and Shayaros. So you need both issues. You need two people with the same name. There's a chazaka that exists, and caravans passing through, in order to disqualify again. Rav Zera also Rami Masnisna Baraisa. He also showed the stira between our Mishnah and the Baraisa we quoted. Tanat, I maybe get Vavid Emenu, our Mishnah, if you found it right away, kosher. You love puzzle. V'riminu. And here's the stira from another Baraisa. Matzah get Isha B'shuk. You found a divorce in a marketplace. Bizman Shabal Moedev, the Baal says, give it, give it. If the Baal doesn't agree, but even though it was lost for a long period of time, if the Baal says use it, it can be used. So it seems to be a stira. Even a lot of time passed. Umeshani, again, we made a distinction. If the caravans are traveling, so therefore we have to worry about a second get. If there aren't a lot of traffic, then you don't have to be choishesh. And you don't return the get to the Baal or to the woman if there's a huzak that there are two people with the same name. Like Rabba. Even though there's no chazaka of two people with the same name, you shouldn't return it. Because that mandamer argues with Rabba. So Bishma the Rabba Lama Rab Zera Masnin Salim Lakshuye. Rabba didn't learn like Rab Zera. He asked it from the Mishnah Bab Mitzia. Because it's better to ask a kasha from a Mishnah than a Baraisa. Ela Rabzer, my time like Rabba. Why did Rabzer simply learn like Rabba? Amar lacha miktani im amar tnu noislin. He doesn't say beferish that if the Baal says give it, you give it even after a long period of time. Dilma im amar tnu noislin kidekaimen on the altar. Maybe if you're going to learn that if he says give it, you give it, that's only if they found the get right away. So he would prefer to learn it from his way. Rav Yirmiyah Omar, that you can be metaritz these kashas in a different way. The Mishnah in the Baba Metzia that said you should not return it, and the Brisa that said you can return it. Kigon the Ka'amri Ha'edim me'olam lechasanu ela get echad shel Yosef ben Shimon. The Edim said we only signed on one get with this name, so you can never have to worry about a second get with the same name. So ihachi, if that's the case, what's the chiddush? Ma'ila meim. Ma'od to say the chiddush is leichish dilma isrami. Shma kishma and Edim kishmos Edim. Maybe you have to worry that there's a second get with the same name of these Edim. Kamashman, to that extent, we'd have to be choshesh. Ravashi Omar, when do you return a get when you find it? Kigon de Omar, nekav yeshbo mitzad ois plonis. The guy gives a simon. There's a hole next to the letter Aleph in that word. And we look, and there's a hole in the parchment next to the letter Aleph. That's a siman muvik. And therefore, the havalei siman muvik, you can be soymech on that even midoraisa to be mater nation the V'davka b'tzad ois ploinis. You have to tell you a specific letter. The havalei siman muvik. Aval nekev ba'ama, just to say that there's a hole in the parchment, that's not accurate enough. Look. Now, misafkale, why? We are in doubt regarding simonim idoraisa idrabon. In order to return something, is this a din midoraisa that you can return it regarding relying on simonim?
What else would you rely on for returning?
Or it's only a
the
rabbinic,
Edim?
or it's a rabbinic din, and you have to have a siman muvik, according to all opinions, that it's minat Torah. Hadam rinan be'elam Rashi. Hadam rinan be'elam mitzias. Shemachzir naveda b'simonim. We're going to learn Mirz Hashem. If somebody finds a lost object, you have to announce it, and somebody comes by and gets it back based on simonim. Iboilon hasam. Over there, we ask the question: Doraisa Drabona. So Rav Ashi had the same mesupik. So by Aser Ish, which is Doraisa, maybe we're not going to rely on just a general simon, because regular simonim are Rabbanon. And Ubamamona who demotzi Rabbanon lavkia. There's something called Hefker Bezdin Hefker. When it comes to money, Chazal are in charge of money. It's a Rabbanon Dikadin. So regarding there, we could rely on it. The Hefker Bezdin Hefker. The time at the contest of Mefarish, Avalamaishri Yisura. But to mid in Israel each, Lo Matz Rabbanon Lako Davon Torah. But that's regular simon, general simonim. But a siman muvik, if everybody agrees that this is a siman muvik, it would be midorais. If Adam give a siman muvik in the get, like they say there was a hole next to such and such, it's a kosher get. Rabbi Rav Chana Irkes Legita B'Midrasha. He lost a get that he brought to the base medrash. Omar is simon. If they ask me for simonim, is lebegave. I have simon. Eat tvias eina. Tvias means do I recognize it? Isle begave. I recognize it. Adru Aniel, so they returned it to him. Now, lo yadana, we don't know. Imishum Simona Adre, did they return it because of the simon he gave? Ukasavi Simonim Daraisa? Or Tvias Eina? Or because he recognized it. Now, regarding this concept of Tvias Ayin, Davka Tzur B'm Rabbanon, it's got to be a Talmid Chacham. That it's only on a Talmid Chacham that we rely Tvias Ayin. Regular people, we don't. If somebody loses a get and says, I recognize it, we don't give it back. And even to a Talmid Chacham. Shulchan Aruch says, Ein Matzui Talmid Chacham B'yameinu. The Talmid Chacham of this Madrega we don't have in our day. That's the Rambam road and the Shulchan Aruch road. Then we said, if he didn't find it la'alter, immediately puzzle. So Ton Rabbanon, Ezer Shelo la'alter. What defines immediate? The period of time for a caravan to pass by that place and to camp. For a person to have been there long enough to see that no other person went through there. And some say that a person, he didn't stay there. Rabbi Yomi Gittin Daf again. The time that it takes to write again. The time to read it. The time it takes you to write and read it. If there was a period of time that went by even along, but he has simonim, me'idin alav, you can testify about it, and we'll give the get, and the get is kosher. What kind of simonim? Like the Amri, neck of Yeshbo, B'tzados Plenis. There's a hole to the right of the letter Aleph in such and such word. But Ein Me'id al Simone Aguf. General simonim, it was 3 paragraphs long. No. If you go into Amri, Aruch, it's a long document, or Gutz, or it's a short document. That's not a simon movement. But so kosher bekispa arniki v'tavas. The get is tied to a wallet, or purse, or a ring, or shematzu ben kelav, or it was found among his possessions at home. Afilus man meruba kosher. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Tomorrow I'd like to learn at 7:00, like we did last week.
Okay.
That way, when I come home from shul, we'll just learn the tzurba. Otherwise, everything will just get pushed.
Okay, can we switch from 8:20 to 8:30? Like I barely made it from shul.
8:30?
Didn't you start 8:20 today?
No, I didn't, because I didn't get home till 8:25 either.
Interesting.
Make it at 8:30. So Daf Yomi normally will be at 8:30.
8:30.
Okay.
Yeah. Tomorrow it's at 7,
Okay.
and then Sorba will be at 8:30.
Okay. Night.